Elon and Doge have laid off veterans, researchers working on cancer treatment, opioid addiction, prosthetics, and burn pit exposure. They've laid off 1,300 employees at the CDC, about 10% of the agency's workforce, which is a choice in the aftermath of a global pandemic. Over 130 were let go at the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which oversees the nation's critical infrastructure, including the federal efforts to secure election systems. Thousands of workers at the IRS, who were responsible for bringing wait times down to just 4 minutes on average during the Biden administration, thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act. 1,000 National Park Service employees who maintain and clean our parks. Effectively all Consumer Financial Protection Bureau employees who were responsible for returning $21 billion to hundreds of millions of consumers who were screwed over by predatory financial institutions. And the list goes on and on. And of course, this is all under the pretense of cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. But you know what the first line of defense is against waste, fraud, and abuse? That would be the inspectors general, who Trump decided to fire right off the bat.
You also wouldn't fire the IGs. I mean,
Right.
IGs, inspectors general, I will tell you from working for 2 Democratic presidents, they're a headache for everyone. You know why? Because they're investigating every agency and they find stuff, including waste and fraud and abuse. They wouldn't be firing them. If they actually cared about waste, fraud, and abuse, they'd be taking their reports, they'd be looking at them and figuring out what to use to root out and to address.
The whole anti-corruption crusade is an absolute fraud. They started by decimating the ranks of the inspectors general. These are the people whose job is actually day in and day out, 365 days a year, to ferret out waste, fraud, and abuse in the departments and the agencies. They got rid of 17 of them in the first week. I think they just got rid of the 18th because they were mad at that one. If you were interested in fighting corruption, those are the people you'd be talking to. They're actually doing it day in and day out.
In other words, it's already beyond clear that what Elon and Trump are doing is massively disingenuous. But worse, the American people can clearly see that. According to the Washington Post, Musk having a prominent role in the administration is viewed as a bad thing, 54-28 by a nearly 2-to-1 ratio. The Post Ipsos poll showed Americans disapprove by a similarly wide margin, 52-26, of Musk shutting down federal government programs that he decides are unnecessary. And Americans said 63-34 that they are concerned about Musk's team getting access to their data, which is the subject of high-profile legal fights. Even 37% of Republican-leaning voters said that they are at least somewhat concerned about Musk getting their data. Which, of course, raises the question, do these Republicans recognize that Elon is a liability for them?